Ryan Gosling, he's been in The Notebook. He's been in
Blade Runner. Super good in Blade Runner.
Ryan Gosling has been known for this kind of heartthrob rom-com guy. He's gonna be in kind of the same thing, but it's gonna be very odd because he's gonna be kind of plasticky.
Once again, another flagship episode. Happy Monday.
We're going to get the laughs in. We're going to have a good time.
You guys are going to give me more gray hairs.
Just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Dude, I can't take it. Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast. All you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs.
You've mastered it.
Wonderful job. You've really improved.
3 seasons?
You've mastered it so much you did it on the midnight special.
I did.
Actually, I know. I think it's been. This is season number 4 because we started
this.
We started last summer.
So
we started it last summer.
So spring, summer, fall.
No, we didn't do the intro with
spring.
In the spring.
Summer, fall.
Summer, fall.
Summer. Fall.
No, spring, fall. No,
Spring.
Look, you're missing. So freaking summer, fall, spring.
Summer.
Now we're on season 4 of the intro. While we do the same intro.
I wouldn't say this season counts, but
we're in the middle of the season.
it is what it is. I got it down.
Do you guys think it's fun to say?
Yes.
You still enjoy it?
Oh, yeah.
Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast.
Wacky Wonderful. Do you think when we're at like episode 4070,
it's gonna get annoying?
Do you think we're still gonna be saying it?
No.
Will we still say it? Probably not. Will we maybe have it in the intro or something or up on the board? Maybe. That way we don't have to say it. It's there.
It's there.
I mean, there's something that we did not acknowledge on footage. We just went with it.
Mm-hmm.
We've dropped 30-second stories.
We did
on the midnight special.
So
we did 30-second stories, and we kind of dropped that. We started getting bored with it, so we just were like, nope.
Well, it became a chore.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the thing is, here's our main problem: is we started getting into conversation,
and then it would break the conversation
before we would do 30-second stories.
Yeah,
it would.
So it would break a conversation that was going somewhere.
Right, and so it could get tedious. You'd have to come up with ideas. It breaks the conversation. And when that happens, when you're not having fun with it anymore, or you're looking forward more to just talking
then just stop
doing it, then yeah, you stop. And maybe we'll bring back something like that.
A new version of it
different
for a while.
At some point.
That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about the Midnight Special, which if you listen to this and you don't know, comes out on Friday at 10 p.m. on audio platforms. We don't have a video version of it except for on our Patreon. It's free flow. It feels more like just a random podcast, or just like a sit down and talk about things, and people can join in on our topic of conversations. Just be a fly on the wall, you know?
So once in a while, we have to do it your way because of job stuff. Where are you going to be in California this weekend? Are you going?
No, I'm going to be
in this time zone.
No, I won't. I will. I'll be in Pennsylvania all week.
So you'll be in this time zone.
Yes, I will. So it won't deter our virtual recording schedule. So that's good. It's so freaking annoying to go to California and record because first off, don't care for the state. Second off, when we try to record virtually, especially the midnight special or something, it's like you guys are recording at like 9 p.m. and I'm recording at like 4, in the afternoon. So I finish a shoot, go directly to my hotel room, open the computer, set up a camera, and we're going. You know what I mean? So it's like nonstop for me, and you guys have had like a 4-hour break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The California stuff is a bit annoying.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're going to be in Pennsylvania. So
yeah, we don't have to worry about it.
There's no problem with that.
And then in July, at the end of July, I'm going to Florida, which is the same time zone.
Same time zone.
So heck yeah.
I'm gonna bring a call back from last season.
Okay.
And talk about something that you promised me and Wyatt. You promised us a gift.
Bucket hats.
A signed poster from somebody
Yeah.
We never got that.
I never got that picture.
I'm gonna be honest. The producer said they were sending it to me, and it might be on my desk at work, and I haven't been at my desk in like months.
Okay.
It might be sitting there, and I totally forgot. Yeah.
Wait, why haven't you been to your desk?
Because I don't like when I'm in video. I'm on trips.
Oh, okay.
When I'm not on trips, I'm in editing, which is a different desk. It's an editing suite. So I haven't gone to my desk for the video department.
What if somebody
months.
stole it?
What
I
if
mean, I don't know.
It's in a package. That would be illegal.
And I don't know why somebody would want a signed picture that's signed to me and Josh.
From Claudia, the actress, the girlfriend of Marty McFly from
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
We need that. We need to hang it up in our apartment.
All right,
somewhere.
look. Tomorrow, I'm going to work.
Card? Can we go get it today?
We could, if you want to go out there.
Could?
Yeah, I could go in the building and get it if it's there. But we also might get there and be like, oh, it's not here.
Yeah,
it hasn't come in.
I mean, it's kind of like playing the lottery. Let's just play the lottery today.
You want to go roll some dice?
I'm not. No, we'll get it on Monday. But I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Next time I see you.
Yeah, I'll bring it.
Okay. Good.
You guys will get it at some point.
Yeah.
It's not just gonna like dissolve into the ether somewhere. It's a physical piece.
Might.
It's a physical picture that's real. It was signed to you guys.
Yeah, but if it never makes it back to you,
then it can never make it to you guys. Listen,
you should have just said send it to this address and send it to our address. That's what you should have done when you said that the producer was sending it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You should just been like, send it here. Birch Lake.
I don't know. They've been getting our mail mixed up. Somebody else might get our Marty McFly poster.
That would be.
That would suck.
And they'd be like, I don't know who Wyatt and Josh are, but
here you go,
this
Wall.
is mine now.
It looks like it's signed by somebody
like
important.
We go on Facebook Marketplace and be like, we're selling a authentic signed poster. And it's like,
from Claudia. What?
I am Josh and he's Wyatt.
I would like my picture, please. All right. $120.
Exactly.
Just to get my picture? Freaking, I had a thought that I was going to bring up. When it comes to the podcast, when it goes into the future, what?
I'm just imagining me and Wyatt going and trying to meet the person to get our poster back, but we do like the table method, where like someone does it, someone acts like a table and you push them over and steal the poster.
What? Someone gets back behind their knees?
It'd be you.
And then we push them and they fall over them.
Yep, and then we just
That's like a
it.
Sean and Gus move.
What were you saying about the podcast?
So regarding the podcast, looking into the future, do you guys see like what it looks like in the future? Because I know this podcast is going to evolve over time. Mm-hmm. At some point, we'll probably either add guests back to the show or we will individually do versions of our own podcast that's surrounding the Wiseworks podcast where we talk to guests. There's a whole host of ways that this can evolve over time. So when we think about like episode 1,000, which is ways away from now, of the Wiseworks podcast.
Yeah.
Like, what is it going to look like? Is it going to be so? Because the thing is, also think about this. We call it Wiseworks Podcast, and I think that name is sticking around. But think about this. Podcasts in 10 years could not even be like a trend anymore, and some other trend that's like a similar format has taken over, and we morph a podcast into that similar trend that's still ultimately a free flow conversation or a topical conversation, but it's not necessarily a podcast anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be honest,
kind of like how GMM has turned into a game show instead of
I could see this podcast, at least as of now, I see this podcast channel turning into like your mom's house.
Oh.
And being multiple podcast iterations of
certain personalities.
Yes, personalities. So like we could have a guest podcast that you host. So you and a guest, or me and a guest. And then we have the main podcast that's
surrounding
podcast,
us.
Or something like that.
Yeah. What do you think? When you think about like conversation content, what do you think would be interesting for yourself, Wyatt, in the future? That like if you were to have your own show, You know, it's not a part of Wiseworks. It's just going on the channel, and people that are fans of Wiseworks is going to watch it because you're the host. What would you be interested? Like, what kind of content would it be? Podcast conversations? Would it be?
That's tough. I don't know. It
could be like the writer's room, or I don't know. After you've come out with a book, you're like giving people advice on writing.
I would love to talk about
like Brandon Sanderson.
Books, authors, writing.
You'd like to talk to authors.
I'd like to talk to authors. I'd like to talk about a multitude of different avenues and different types of media for storytelling.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a whole host of them out there. There's TV shows, movies, books, audiobooks. I would consider like D&D storytelling. There's all sorts of different kinds of things that people do where they tell stories, and I'd like to probably have something like that.
That's cool.
Like a story talk thing. I like that.
When it comes to the studio channel, I actually had this thought. I was like, what happens when, you know, we're going around, we're still recording content for like podcasts and everything, but then like we're busy, you know, creating content where you're talking to, you know, writers, and you're creating educational material or something for writers, or writing your own books, and you're out there freaking being the next Gary Vee or something, just learning marketing or whatever. Who knows what you're gonna do? You look like you're about to kill me. And then like I'm out there filming or something, making a short film or a full feature. What does the studio become? Because it's still commentary on films. So I was thinking, what if like twice a week, the studio channel is essentially like mini documentaries where we have like 3 people that manage it and film it, create the content for it, that follow us around, and we still talk about movies that we've seen where like we react to trailers or something, but it's kind of like in mini documentary form. Because at that point, we'll have an audience there.
It's almost behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's like behind the scenes of our everyday.
Yeah.
Not like vloggy.
I've always kind of been on board with that. Because I like the Corridor Crew channel, which is their kind of behind the scenes, but they do stuff. It's like that's where they post their VFX artists react. That's where they post their we do a VFX challenge, you know, but it's also where they post their behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Imagine if that channel gets like 3 million subscribers. It's a good size audience. And everything else that's below that is growing. The company's growing and everything. And we're making films and stuff and writing books and telling stories. And so ultimately the studio channel needs to be in existence because it's where it's our short form kind of commentary studio life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then like, what if it's like, I don't know, Peter McKinnon style, where it's not a vlog, but it can feel like behind the scenes documentary. And like in the middle of the video, we're still sitting down and watching a movie trailer or watching it on our phone. And like we're talking to a camera and we give our thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of style of stuff. You know what I mean?
Down with it.
That'd be kind of cool.
Like it.
And like we do that, they upload twice a week. And it's telling a story in a very cinematic documentary style way.
Yeah.
It's kind of following us, but we still do the same type of content, just in a different format. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Do you guys ever think about this stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but I don't know. I feel like you think about it more than
I think about like interesting ideas for a video series that could be like really long form. Not like, I'm not talking like a 3 hour long video. I'm talking like over the course of months or years. Like videos that are kind of behind the scenes. Like I'm filming a movie, I'm filming a short, I'm writing a book.
Yeah.
You know, and you just go and you set up and you talk for 10 or 20 minutes about what you're doing.
Okay.
You know? And I wonder if in the future, if those kinds of videos would have any sort of, like, what's the half-life on that? You know, how long would it last? What kind of audience would it gain, stuff like if we have an audience that enjoys that kind of stuff,
then go for
it. I'd love to do a little bit of that.
It's kind of a mix between a podcast and a video log, not like a vlog like every day, but like an actual like sit down in front of the camera and give your thoughts about something.
Yeah.
It's because it's happening at the rate of conversation, and at the same time it's not really a podcast.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to do something where it's just I sit down and I say, I'm trying to write a book, right? Here's what I have, and here's where I'm thinking of going, and then just do a short video about characters I'm writing, storylines I'm trying to tell, just as somebody who's never written anything.
Yeah.
And doesn't have any kind of formal experience trying to write something.
Cool.
What would people be interested in something like that?
I think once people know your name and know who you are, they'd be interested in it.
Yeah.
Do we have an
opener?
Opener.
Absolutely.
We do have an opener. It was starting to feel like the Midnight Special.
Yeah.
Well, there's a sample for you. If you guys like this and you don't listen to the Midnight Special, that's what it is.
That's the Midnight Special.
That's exactly what it's like. So let's get into our opener. We're talking a little bit about the King of the North.
King of the North.
Jon Snow.
Oh.
Whoa. That's a picture. That's a picture of him.
Sheesh.
That's
Look at
crazy.
those eyes, the windows to the souls.
So check this out. HBO is in development on a bunch of Game of Thrones, Westeros, Essos stories for series. All right,
and I'm here for it.
We are, and we're here for House of the Dragon that's coming out. All right, in August. However, a new one has popped up that said they might create. We don't really have any information, so it could be post Game of Thrones, could be amidst Game of Thrones, could be pre Game of Thrones.
I don't see it pre Game of Thrones only because he doesn't have much story except for being
younger.
Yeah, he's really young. He's in
most likely not pre Game of Thrones, but it could be like a development because he's a Targaryen. It could be like his story in depth or his parents' story, and then he's popped in there a couple times. Kit Harington.
I would see more of a, story that takes place with him
post.
Yeah, after.
Once he goes into the north.
The north.
Beyond the wall. Either way, Kit Harington, it's rumored that he is on board. Like he's interested and he's on board for whatever this show might be. Now, we don't have a lot of information about this, but I think it's interesting looking forward to, House of the Dragons, looking at Kit Harington's character for Jon Snow, and looking at kind of him in the show in general. It might spark some interesting thoughts from us. What are you thinking?
I don't know.
What, he looking sexy?
This sexy picture.
I was just thinking he's gonna like a switchblade on me right here. It's like
he's gonna pull out a shiv.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Is the thing. They haven't. With the most information that we have is that he might be interested, and they might be doing this show.
Yeah.
So, would I watch it? Probably.
anything Game of Thrones or anything kind of. I don't know. I mean, what would you call that genre? Game of Thrones. That would be like. That's.
I just always refer to it as like stories from Essos or Westeros.
I mean,
Because
Are you
that's
talking
essentially
about
what-
medieval fantasy?
just like, yeah, I guess fantasy has always been something that I really like with Lord of the Rings, with
Okay.
Game of Thrones, with all this stuff that I really like that genre. So anything Game of Thrones, as long as it's not, they're not, grasping at straws here because maybe there isn't more story to tell, but they feel like they want to make another TV show, so it just feels forced.
Well, the thing is, they
Then-
have like a bunch in development, not just House of the Dragon, not just this, just others that they know that they've said they're working on like this number of them,
Yeah.
and we don't know anything else about
I mean,
it.
the world of Game of Thrones, there is a lot that they could tell because it's very big. They could say a lot. But Game of Thrones is known for being very drama heavy, but yet still having a good storyline. and stuff.
Interpersonalized.
Yes. So they have
political.
to stick with that if they're going to stick with that in that world, in that.
So you're saying it has to keep the heart of Game of Thrones.
It
if
has
they're
to
stick
keep the
around.
heart. Yes.
My biggest issue is that for the first couple seasons of Game of Thrones, we had reached kind of peak storytelling. By the end of Game of Thrones, they rushed the ending, and then it's like half of the TV shows we got after the end of Game of Thrones were very there was no depth. The stories were kind of subpar. The acting and the writing has been subpar ever since we haven't gotten anything as complex or story driven or drama heavy as good as Game of Thrones, since it's almost like there was a curse. There was a curse after that last season. And my only worry is that we are going to get more Wheel of Time. With this, we're going to get more Wheel of Time acting.
Hold on,
more Wheel of Time story, right? And that's the issue. The Wheel of Time, that kind of storytelling, acting, writing, everything. It's in everything now.
Yeah,
every Marvel show you see, every Star Wars thing you see, everything the streaming services are putting out.
It's just permeated through everything.
Yeah, there's like this curse of bad.
Just
it's
like
bad.
Not like bad elements to a story. It's like from the writer's room, bad. So everything following it is bad.
Right.
Like even the cinematography, like what we saw with Wheel of Time, everything's way too vibrant and bright for a medieval dark fantasy. What's with these like super exuberant colors? Like in a documentary, that's pretty. In a wedding video, that's pretty. That looks good. But we're talking about a dark fantasy like Game of Thrones. Make it feel dull, dirty, and not full of life unless we're in the Shire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's my only concern is that there's been this trend of bad writing.
Yeah.
Just bad writing, and I don't want to see it. It's almost pandering.
Yeah.
It's almost it's almost treating the audience as if they don't understand anything. Oh, you don't understand, so we have to dumb things down for you. So the dialogue feels dumb, the story feels dumb. They have to quick time everything. They have to make characters, if they're being inclusive, the inclusive characters have no depth. They're just good at everything.
So I would say Game of Thrones was never that, because even like my favorite character was Tyrion, because he had such this. I would say my favorite Tyrion thing they did in Game of Thrones was when he was like, he told the story. He was trying to figure out who was the leak, and who's telling the queen, his sister, who like the
who was the informant on the sister.
He told 3 different stories, and then he was like, okay, whatever story comes back to me, whatever I hear is the leak, because I'm telling 3 different stories a different way. That idea was awesome. It gave him depth. It showed Tyrion how cunning he was and smart and everything. If they do that with a new show, with Game of Thrones, then it will defeat the purpose of Game of Thrones.
I haven't seen writing for a character like Tyrion
ever
since Tyrion.
Well, honestly,
even in the last seasons, the last like 3 or 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, Tyrion was dumbed down so that they could make room for Daenerys being the best character of all time. Every decision he made was wrong. Every piece of advice he gave was wrong.
He was too smart for it all to be wrong.
And they made a big, huge deal of her needing an advisor. But you can't have an advisor if everything he says is wrong. And I get that they were ultimately leading to her being
like her father.
Yeah.
But that needed to be a little bit more gradual. And
that's across the board. Everyone agrees with that.
Yeah, but they dropped him off with her, and then it's like he was an idiot.
Yeah.
She was right every time. Every decision she made was right.
And he just kept making mistakes in front of her.
Yeah.
Whereas previously, he he was constantly doing the right thing. It was like the battle at King's Landing. It was his idea that won the day because of the dragon fire.
Yeah.
You know? And he was like that throughout his whole career until he got with Daenerys.
That's the point of character development, is to set him up as a cunning, smart character that another character needs. And then you put them together and it's
strong.
Yeah, it's strong.
It progresses the story in a way that creates weight,
like
in a way that has
her, you know, kind of foolhardiness in the way that she just jumps into things needed to be tempered by his no, wait, hold on, let's think about this and do something smart. But it wasn't. Every time he did something smart, it's like, we'll sneak up into Casterly Rock through the pipes and the drains. She was like, oh, well, there was nobody there, so I'm going to get on my dragon and go burn people.
That's dumb.
Yeah. It was like, let's make her awesome and him dumb.
Listen.
They can't do that in this show. This show has to be good.
I was severely only hoping this could be not post Game of Thrones, so we can maybe potentially get Ygritte. Give me Ygritte.
There's not enough time.
Okay, look, even if this is what we need. I need a full episode of him dreaming about a life with a wildling woman, and just bring Ygritte in for one episode.
See, I could see that happen.
I need Ygritte in my life.
I could see them doing that.
Boring.
Are you kidding?
Seems
First
boring.
off, Rose Leslie is Kit's actual wife.
Oh, okay. Go watch the Time Traveler's Wife.
Kit's not in there.
Don't bring her into this show.
She's already been in it, and she was incredible.
Okay, she was good, but she's dead now.
See,
they killed her off.
I could see him dreaming of her, or like, you know, being up there and looking and seeing her in places.
Maybe
I could see them bringing
like
her
a
in for that.
5-minute, 10-minute thing.
Yeah, or
not a whole episode.
You know, like in Django Unchained, when you know, he'll be riding past and he'll look over and he'll see his wife.
Yeah,
and she's not there.
Yep.
I could see stuff like that happen.
Okay. That'd be cool.
And that'd be cool. But yeah,
give me
that's my
Rose
thoughts.
Leslie. Kit and Rose, they're power couple, and they're both beautiful. Look at this man.
Yeah. We only have 2
It's
photos.
over, dude. She's dead. She's gone. He shot her.
No, she's very much alive. I've seen her in Time Traveler's Wife.
He didn't shoot her? Who shot her?
No,
the kid shot her.
Yes,
Kid shot her.
I don't know.
He held her in his arms.
You just gave us Frodo. You were like, it's over. It's done.
It's over.
It's done. It's over. It's done. It's finished, Sam.
Dang it, man. What do you guys think?
You gotta move on.
So when it comes to like House of the Dragon, you guys still very excited about it? Sadly,
as of now, yes.
We haven't heard anything
in a while. It's been quiet.
My thoughts that I just went through still stand. They still stand.
I think that House of the Dragon is going to be a strong show. I think it's going to be not too different than Game of Thrones. I think it's going to be really well done. I think it's going to keep the heart, even just the way we see it. Still, like in the trailer, the filming style, the pacing, it feels like Game of Thrones.
It's going to be more politicized.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's some of the best things we like about Game of Thrones.
No. I mean,
heavy.
I mean, American politicized.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Why do you think that? This is HBO.
Because
they already get their politicized out with like Euphoria.
No, because Game of Thrones didn't have a ton of politicized stuff in it, in the early seasons especially, and even in the late seasons. Everything after COVID is politicized.
Not Time Traveler's Wife.
I'm talking about anything with...
You mean anything out of Hollywood is just extreme politically.
Right.
Like PC.
Yeah. Everything is kind of just politicized after COVID.
Yep.
We don't get anything, especially in fantasy for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because fantasy lends itself well to being like, it's not our world. So you can
change the rules.
You can change the rules. You can, but still.
Didn't we, I mean, it's with like Wheel of Time, which is a big, bad problem. I didn't even know anything about the story of Wheel of Time. And I got the feeling that so much was added with not even knowing the story. So if we get that from Game of Thrones, now HBO is not. You guys created Sopranos and you created Game of Thrones. Be better. And you created Euphoria, which was very PC, and at the same time, not PC. So if you can create those 3 hit shows, stay true to it.
Not Game of Thrones. HBO has had a track record of being better than Prime is the worst streaming service out there.
I don't know. I feel like
it's probably not.
It's probably like Tubi or something.
Yeah, Tubi's not. It's a streaming service, but they don't create anything
with their shows
own.
And stuff. Okay, I had to throw that.
No, Prime is the worst creator.
HBO has had a track record of being pretty good. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they stick with that. Hey, well, hopefully the creators of and the production of HBO. I don't know who's involved, but they probably have like HBO people that are involved.
Well, they've recently had 2 biggest historical hits: Game of Thrones and Euphoria.
Yeah, what has Prime had?
They've attempted to have Wheel of Time, and they're trying to have Lord of the Rings.
So potentially 2 of
the biggest fantasies,
2 of the worst things.
Well, 2 of the
historically.
I don't even know.
I mean, we haven't seen Lord of the Rings yet.
What happened
at
Rings
the end
of Power of season 1 of Wheel of Time?
Because we backed out.
We watched 3 episodes?
We watched for like 4 episodes.
4 episodes
and backed out,
and then stopped watching. I don't know what happened with Wheel of Time.
It was bad.
Couldn't keep watching.
And think about this: we got a lot of views on our studio channel talking about Wheel of Time before, being like, "We're looking forward to it." Kind of like, let's see what happens. We don't know the story. You knew the story. And then we started it, and it's like, no, ma'am. Yeah. No, ma'am. Let me interrupt the podcast for just one moment. We have a Patreon, and we do all kinds of cool stuff, including early content for like this podcast a week early. We also have the Midnight Special a week early. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, some exclusive content like movie commentaries, pre-shows that we do each week for the podcast, go check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. We would greatly appreciate it. Let me stop taking up all your time. Let's get back to the conversation.
I am already dreading the Lord of the Rings show coming out and just 2 episodes watching and then giving up. Mm-hmm. If we have to give up on a canon Lord of the Rings Middle Earth show,
there's nothing canon but the books. The literature is the only thing that's canon for Lord of the Rings. Don't let them try to
see that noise you made. That's how I've been feeling about like Kenobi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's its own thing. I don't want to talk about Disney Plus right now. I want to talk about. But we're talking about big things, big IPs that are being neutered. Obi-Wan Kenobi, as the wise words of Jack Sparrow said,
snip snip,
Unity snip snip. Snip, snip.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah,
it's depressing, it's sad, it's frustrating.
And it really is. They're just writing in PC stuff
for the sake of being PC.
For the sake of being PC. It doesn't add to the story.
It's literal pandering and gaslighting a story.
What's fun about fantasy is that you can explore the kind of modern political or things going on in a much more interesting way.
Yes.
You can explore. It's like what would this look like in a fantasy world? And how would people think about this? What would the stereotypes be? What would the different things, how humans interact, and you can explore that in fun and different and interesting ways, and it doesn't have to all be stuff from our world.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Which in some ways, this is a bad example, but like if you're going to counter racism in a film or a show, well then look at kind of what Peter Jackson accentuated from the orcs in Lord of the Rings. They were very much being like, orcs are supremacy right now, and we're going to fight and destroy all humans. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's a bad example, but it's putting a negative light on something that is a toxic idea and dangerous and evil idea. You know what I mean? So it's mild, but you can work it in there.
The example I was going to use was in Sanderson's Stormlight series. They are fighting against essentially like another species of humanoid, which are kind of almost have not crab-like. They have like they grow armor, almost like a crab. But like for the first book and a lot of the second book, they're just kind of evil. They're the enemy. But then it switches perspectives and you see that they're not.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of racial ideas that clash between the two peoples.
Yeah.
You know? And so you can explore that kind of stuff in fantasy in a different way.
Yeah. And like in Game of Thrones, the idea of bastards is very much looked down upon, you know? And so, and the whole thing is a lot about bastard children, like making decisions to be heroes or making decisions that falls in line with what they've been told their whole life, like Ramsay, and becoming even more evil. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so you can tackle a lot of cool ideas. You just don't have to turn it into like, I don't like this king because he's a white man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
or
That's a problem.
have a character that's very clearly supposed to be like a Southern, like, white sympathizer.
Which is what Kenobi did.
Yeah.
Kenobi did that with the allies to the stormtroopers, that dumb little alien guy.
Which is really funny because he's like, no, yeah, I follow the Empire and do everything they say.
Which is the last thing a person from the South would say.
It's funny. He's supposed to be like the right wing, conservative, alt-right kind of guy, but he sounds very
left,
alt-left, right? You got to follow the government and do exactly what they say. It's a mandate.
I don't know.
It's mandated.
I don't know if we're still on Game of Thrones, but
we're just.
I know we're just
we passed Game of Thrones.
So you guys think this is gonna be a good show? Not.
I think it will.
Yes, no, just give me a straight
I think it will. I believe in Game of Thrones. HBO, they're the one thing that hasn't really let me down as far as content.
Or King of the North will be.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm calling it King of the North. This is not factual.
I have zero expectations.
Okay, that's good. Go into it with no expectations.
I'm expecting it to be good, and I'm expecting House of the Dragon to be good. Like I said, I watched Euphoria. I'm watching Time Traveler's Wife, and I've watched other HBO shows. For the most part, HBO does good stuff. I haven't seen them slipping.
I'm never ever gonna be disappointed again. I'm never gonna get my hopes up. I'm never gonna put my heart into something and get disappointed. I am only gonna be pleasantly surprised by things.
Only.
That's it.
Or just be like, I expected
From now on, I'm going to watch a movie and I want my experience to be like Top Gun. I want to watch a movie and be blown away, pleasantly surprised, go into it with no expectations and come out just being like, yes.
Heck yes.
That's it. I don't want... No, I want to look forward to movies and shows, but Hollywood's making it really hard.
That's why people like us need to step up.
They're making it really tough.
The indie world is going to be like... We're here and we will not screw up Lord of the Rings.
That's my problem with Avatar. I want to go into it with
The Last Airbender.
No. Avatar.
The Way of Water?
The Way of Water. I want to go into it. I want to have such big expectations.
The story's going to be there.
But I don't want to be disappointed.
No, it'll be there.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
I'm going in with no expectations.
Well, if he goes in with no expectations, he'll like it more.
The only thing I think I'm going in with big expectations for in the future is Dune Part 2.
Okay.
The first one
was good.
Set a precedent,
and now I'm going in high hopes.
And hopefully all of the same creators are a part of it. We know that Greg Fraser is.
Hans has said he's already started working on the sound.
And
score.
Denis Villeneuve is obviously going to be there, so... Heck yeah, Dune Part 2, everybody. Austin Butler's going to be in it.
I'm played rough, though. I'm going to be fighting you, Paul Atreides.
Come here, Paul Atreides.
Come here, Paul Atreides. Let's not fight.
Yeah.
For the future of the universe.
Your dad tried to put me in prison for the way I was moving. Look,
you know who's playing this character that I'm curious about?
What?
Ryan Gosling.
Oh, we're going straight there.
Oh, is that not next?
That wasn't next. But that was close. You should have said Joaquin Phoenix. But before we do that,
that's not Joaquin.
Wait, what?
I always forget.
Joaquin is subscribed to our Patreon. What?
Thank you, Mr. Phoenix. Look, Cynthia.
Mr. Phoenix.
Thank you, Cynthia, for being a Patreon supporter. We love you. We appreciate it. This is the ad for the Patreon. The shout out.
Shout out.
Thank you guys. You're the best. If you're on our Patreon, we love you. If you're not, you can easily become one. Just go to the link in the description.
How is it pronounced? Is it Cynthia or Cynthia?
It's
because you guys say
I swear.
Cynthia.
I've heard this my whole life. Because I don't pronounce it right. Okay.
I always said Cynthia, like a synthesizer.
Yes. Cynthia.
You guys say synthesizer?
Yes. I've gotten this my whole life since I was a wee little crouton till up into my toast days.
Ever since forever.
Shut up.
Podcast. Have a nice podcast.
Sit down. Thank you, Cynthia, for being a Patreon supporter. If you want to also become one, we have all sorts of options for you. Check out the link in the description. Joaquin Phoenix. Joker the sequel.
Oof.
There's only a little bit of information. We don't have to talk about it long if you don't want to. But it looks like the director's on board for creating a sequel for the Joker. Or Joker, not the Joker, just Joker. And it appears...
He gets the title of it, though.
It appears that now they're in early talks with Lady Gaga to play Harley Quinn. And there's also rumors that this could be a musical.
That's
Weird.
a hard turn. That's a hey, let's make a movie about like mental illness and the Joker.
In the DC universe.
No, let's make this about
I would hope it's not going to be a musical, but
I don't want it to be. No, it better not be.
I say
well, it could be. You enjoy some musicals. And what if it's really good? What if it's exactly the same vibe, dark, and good storytelling as the first one, but it just happens to have Harley Quinn, and they're both really psychotic, and they do some awesome music that we play in our cars when we go to work, and that's it.
That seems so... I do enjoy a
what
good
if Joaquin
musical.
blows us out of the water with his singing ability?
That's like... I do enjoy a good musical, but I don't know.
It feels weird based on the vibe of the first movie.
Now, it could just be a rumor. Could just be a rumor.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not super committed to the Joker or Joker film. So I'm like, let's give it a go.
My thing is, if they do this movie well and we actually get a Joker doing Joker things and not being crazy because he has mental illness. If we get him being the Joker, right, and doing crimes, being like a crime boss and things, and not just a lunatic going on the stairs and stuff, that could lend a little bit more credibility to the first movie for me. Okay, because I didn't care for the first movie.
What a lot of people said,
I didn't care for the first movie as far as the overall story and how they presented him.
Well, it wasn't a bad story. The problem was it was Joker who was the character.
Yeah.
So it's like if you were telling a story about Andrew and he went through the same process where he got on the show and ended up murdering the show host on TV. Like that's a crazy story that's kind of entertaining and dark. But the fact that this was Joker, it was kind of down.
It was good, but it didn't feel like it felt more like a from a mental perspective. It didn't give us Joker.
That's what Wyatt's saying though.
It because the Joker's supposed to be like a crime boss and a super genius, like a Batman level super genius, and he's just not that. He's just a guy who is dealing with mental things. And puts paint on his face and shoots people on TV. He's not like a super genius. He's not like a master manipulator kind of guy.
You think he might become that though?
No.
Not based on what we saw in the first one.
Not based, because he's a
It's kind of a
fully
dummy.
grown adult man
Who's so mentally ill, he's kind of dumb and socially awkward.
Yeah, who is...
Well, he's so socially awkward, he can't get anything done.
Yeah.
He can't even clown correctly.
I mean, he can kill, but
He's good at killing.
that's only part of what the Joker did. Yeah, he killed people, but he also invented a lot of things and, had incredibly complex plans and did lots of crimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think he, at this point where we saw Joker, he would be a contender for Batman, who actually is in the story because obviously Bruce Wayne was in the film.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Wayne Manor, Mr. Wayne, his dad. So this is obviously Joker with the world of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're saying this is where Joker fell apart, that's fine. But he has to be a different person, a different kind of Joker when we re-enter.
Yeah.
And Joaquin needs to lean into
Especially
that.
if it's a musical.
No, especially if it's a musical.
If it's a musical, then
What if it's a love story? Ugh.
I'll say
that's
this.
probably what it's good. I would say
I
it's
didn't
probably
mind. I haven't seen House of Gucci because everybody across the board says it's terrible. Everybody
I
across the
haven't
board
seen
says
it
it's
either.
terrible. So I'm not going to waste my time. But I didn't mind her in A Star Is Born. She
Yeah.
was a very convincing person and character in A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at the casting.
Yeah.
Because
it's not bad.
I wouldn't have seen Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, but he did a good job. I could see her as Harley Quinn.
It's going to be a different kind.
It's going to be a different kind of movie.
It's gonna be different.
It'll definitely be different. And we'll keep you guys updated on
The first one was about mental illness.
Yeah.
And that the Joker can be anyone. And that society creates them. The second is about toxic relationships.
and how ultimately the men are the ones that bring the toxicity.
Yeah, that's what the whole thing is going to be about. The Joker, the master manipulator from the first movie, is going to turn Harley Quinn
The first movie, the
master manipulator.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. She was a psychologist.
Yeah.
And he talked
in
her into
Arkham,
becoming
He
who
made
she
her
was.
crazy.
Yeah. That's pretty canon. If you deter from that, that's going to be a hard sell for a lot of fans.
Yeah.
I wonder do you ever think that we could just get in a room with some of these writers and we don't have to always present the best ideas? We just have to be like,
Don't do your normal.
that idea can pass. That idea is never going to pass. You know what I mean? They should do that. That's what Peter Jackson did with Lord of the Rings. You looked on the credits, pages and pages and
with
pages
fans. Yeah.
of fan accountability
Yeah.
for the films. When have you seen that since? I didn't even see that with Dune. Of course, I haven't looked.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say the fan accountability comes from Denis Villeneuve, who was a fan.
That's true.
Him
And Hans.
and Hans. The big three.
The big three.
The big three were huge fans of the Dune books, and so they made the Dune books.
Yeah, that's true. If you're a big fan, it's partial accountability. You know what you don't want to see or you don't want to screw up in the story because it has ramifications.
Yeah.
Ripple effects, if you will. Now, you want to start back off with your kickoff?
So, before we do that, I got to take a pee right quick. I really got to pee.
If you're a creator online, you do freelance videography or any kind of contractual creative work, and you need music that's copyright free, that's not going to get you in trouble with YouTube copyright search bots and all of the algorithms trying to find all the infringements you try to pass, go no further. We use Soundstripe here at Wiseworks, and it has not steered us wrong in any account. It's actually really fun to go through and look at all of the different categories, all of the different genres, all of the different vibes of the music, and select which one's gonna be the best and most creative choice for that specific body of work or that specific project you're working on. And if you use the link in the description, that's our link, and at checkout, use WiseWorks10, that's promo code WiseWorks10, you will get 10% discount off on your first purchase. So we really appreciate using our link in the description if this is something you are interested in getting a subscription to for your content. Let's get back to the episode.
Ryan Gosling, he's been in The Notebook. He's been in
Blade Runner, super good in Blade Runner.
Well, I'm going in a kind of a direction.
Sorry.
Not Blade Runner, because he was an actual,
rom-com star.
Yeah. So he was in Notebook. He was in, Ryan Gosling has been known for this kind of heartthrob rom-com guy.
You named off one movie.
Well,
and The Notebook's not a rom-com.
What's this? Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And
there's number 2.
Yeah. And he's going to be in kind of the same thing, but it's going to be very odd because he's going to be kind of plasticky. Yeah, I didn't know how to change that any other way. He's going to play Ken in
Look at his underwear.
A Barbie movie.
Is that Margot Robbie?
Yeah.
Look, freaking, he's got Ken on his underwear
Barbie
showing.
and Ken and Barbie.
I'm gonna say this. That's a pretty impressive Ken.
It really is. They both look plastic.
It's because they're so tan.
Do you think what kind of movie do you think this is going to be? Because I don't think this is going to be an actual Barbie movie.
It's gonna be a comedy rom-com. Oh, that's redundant. It's gonna be a rom-com. That's it. A funny rom-com.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be takes place in the Barbie world, really kind of rom-com.
I think it's gonna be like a Barbie town.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be they play these characters in like a sitcom or something, but then they go out into the real world and they hate each other.
Okay, that's
sick. That's a fun twist.
That's a fun twist. So it's like a show that
This is a show. This is a TV show or something for kids or for teenagers. Outside of the show, Barbie and Ken hate each other. That's what I would hope.
That's fun.
That would be solid.
That's how I would write it, at least. If it does take place in the Barbie world, just like this, what we're seeing, is it going to be like 80s, 70s themed, or is there going to be a lot of like
this jean jacket?
Is there going to be a lot of synth? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of like pop, like the Bratz Dolls music mixed with
popping.
Like, remember the music they played during the Bratz Dolls commercials?
It's like Barbie music.
Ding, 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 ding. And just like
it's Barbie. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Maybe.
Life in plastic. It's fantastic. You can dance my hair. Change me anywhere. There you go. That's it.
We know the song. I want to pull up the IMDb for this bad boy. All right.
Yeah.
Bad boy. I don't know.
Because I spotted the cast list. It's mildly impressive. All right.
Impressive.
First off, Will Ferrell's in this.
Okay. Oh, of course. That actually makes sense. This seems like a Will.
We got Emma Mackey.
Okay.
McKee.
Yeah.
She was. What was she in? I remember seeing something recently that I really liked with her. Oh, she was in the Death on the Nile.
Yeah.
And she kind of looks like the lead who's playing Barbie here.
Margot Robbie?
Yeah, she kind of looks like her.
She got a little bit of Margot Robbie.
She could play Barbie's sister.
Probably.
And
I don't know all the Barbie characters.
Check this out.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera. Mm-hmm. Yep. And she's on SNL. Kate McKinnon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got the she's
Shang-Chi guy.
I'm gonna say this, okay? There's a stereotype out there that says women aren't funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't.
I'm gonna say this. Kate is hilarious. Have you seen much of Kate's stuff?
I mean,
she's genuinely funny.
I'll say this.
Have you seen her Hillary Clinton?
I have not seen a lot about her, but of the stuff I have seen, she's not that funny.
You're joking on yourself. Kate is a genuinely funny lady.
I have not seen a lot.
I don't watch female comics all that much.
Yeah, she's not a stand-up.
And it's not because they're not funny. It's because I don't like women. No, I don't watch a ton of like stand-up stuff. The most I see of stand-up is like when I'm scrolling through my phone, and that's mostly guys.
Okay, it's either Izza or Isa Rae.
Okay,
she's funny.
Okay,
she was on a actually I think it was a Prime or Hulu show about her being a stand-up, so it was kind of like a drama.
Oh, America Ferrera.
Pretty funny. Who?
America Ferrera.
Oh, yeah.
She was in Ugly Betty.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comics here. This definitely has to be a comedy.
Yeah, this is a comedy. It's a rom-com. It's what's listed.
So Will Ferrell, I could totally see him being the director for this.
For this film.
For Barbie World.
Yeah.
It's called Barbie World. It's a TV show, and he's the director, and he's like, yes, this is what I want.
About this yet?
No, there's no synopsis. I did want to say there might be when this comes out, so you can go look. I will say this: I've seen some of this director's work. Okay, so she was a writer on Lady Bird. Actually, let me pull up her directorial list. Okay, so
wait, this woman director?
Yes,
Oh.
it is. But the thing is, what she's done is not half bad. Okay. Where's her directing credits? Here we go. So she's obviously doing Barbie. She's done Little Women,
Okay.
which was pretty good. Had Emma Watson in it, Timothy Chalamet. Lady Bird, which had the same lady who played Joe in Little Women.
Yep.
I didn't see Nights and Weekends, but that's all she's credited for directing.
Stranger Things. Damn it.
You think?
Dang it. I can't remember.
Okay, I've seen Little Women. I've seen Lady Bird. I think they were both solidly created of films. All right,
but they're both like drama romance, right?
yeah, and they're rom-coms
And rom-coms.
and coming into yourself kind of films.
Okay.
You know, like it's people coming into adulthood, people coming into like changing their behaviors or something for the better.
What is that?
Self-credits?
What is self-credits?
I don't know.
Jimmy Kimmel Live?
Oh, where she
went on
herself
on something.
She's also has quite a few acting credits. So the director's name is Greta Gerwig. Greta Gerwig.
Okay.
Gerwig.
I can see the drama.
Oh, she's from Sacramento, the best place in California.
Okay. I can see like the drama kind of stuff leaking in from Lady Bird and Little Women, leaking into this kind of rom-com Barbie movie. I'm almost excited about this.
It's got Will Ferrell. It's got freaking.
If they're doing what's going on in my head,
Yeah.
you know, if Will Ferrell's like the director of this thing and he's wearing an ascot and sunglasses, anytime you get him doing his Megamind voice.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing. But it's also got, like, there's a whole cast of funny people here and good actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he was on Sex Education on Netflix.
Okay.
I wouldn't say he's very funny. He's got physical humor, but he's a very good actor.
He's up and coming.
He's not just up and coming. Well, I guess he is kind of up and coming.
He's a new face.
A very
I haven't
good
seen
actor.
him a ton.
And he's from the UK and he's got a name. I don't know how to say his name. His last name is Gatwa.
Don't even try. Wait,
Look,
there's probably
I'm paying him compliments. You think?
I bet there's a pronunciation for his name somewhere.
Maybe on a Google search.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's got credits.
Yeah,
I've seen him in Sex Education. All right. He's also been on Doctor Who, the TV series. Or it's coming out still. It's not out yet.
Huh.
He's up and coming. Yes, most of his stuff is not as well known, but all of his stuff coming up is well known. So, overall, so you're hoping this is gonna be like a real rom-com in production, maybe happening in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I hope.
Happening in a studio in New York.
I think Ryan Gosling definitely do be looking funny for this role, and he looks like.
I think that's the point. He's
if anybody was gonna play Ken,
and hot.
he can play Ken.
I mean, can you?
Nobody else. I think
you guys
can
could
play
see
Ken.
like the camera pans,
Yes.
it zooms in on Barbie World, and they're doing things, and then Will Ferrell yells "cut," and then he steps off stage and immediately lights up a cigarette, right, and then starts arguing with Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Oh man, that could be good.
There's a show or a film that's like this already.
I don't know. The movie tropes come to mind instantly.
Yeah.
There was a season of Curb Your Enthusiasm where they were trying to redo another like reunion episode for Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And it felt like that. It was like, Larry David's behind the scenes trying to direct Seinfeld and Kramer and, all these people. And it's like on a stage. Yeah. It's on the Seinfeld stage, and it felt like that kind of behind the scenes drama kind of thing.
Well, and also the idea of we work together, we hate each other, we have to like each other on screen. That's a specific kind of trope, and it's a really good one for rom-com.
So what you're saying is, and this could not be where your mind's going, but like they don't end up getting together. It's this third girl with Ken.
So like in the show they're together.
Yeah, and then off screen it's Ken and this other girl.
Ken and somebody else.
Yep.
But they hate each other, but they're secretly in love with each other.
Oh, so you think eventually they get together?
Yeah.
In off screen.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun little. And there's probably going to be, it's a modern film, so they might cheat on their significant others with each
Michael
other.
Cera is Will Ferrell's assistant, who also is in love with Ryan Gosling.
You could write this, bro. You could write this. You could write this. Just show me the cast list and show me some concept art.
I'm just saying,
and I'll write you a story.
It doesn't have to be complicated
for it to be fun.
It just has to be fun.
Yeah,
I think we should cut this and put this on the studio channel.
Maybe
of Wyatt.
Yeah, we'll probably.
I want to write this.
You want to
give it to me,
Barbie?
Give me Barbie. I want to write this movie. Personally, I would have called it Barbie's World or Barbie World as the movie title.
Well, I mean, is that the title? Just Barbie?
I think there's an animated series called Barbie's
that
World.
Might be.
I think they got an animated series named Barbie's World, so that would be conflict.
Yeah.
However, 1 out of 10. You guys excited for this? I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm completely middle ground.
Am I middle ground? I don't know.
Am I excited for this?
Yes. No, this, yes. That's what I'm excited for. I want to see a Ryan Gosling.
Well, we know we're going to see it. We're seeing it right now.
Funny.
Am I excited for
We're seeing it right now.
Not a ton, right?
Yeah.
I'm more excited for my own idea, which is not.
Dude, you are not far off.
I think
you're going with the most obvious idea for this story.
It's something close to that.
If
it's all this, I don't know what kind of movie it'll be. If it's going to be like everything is Speed Racer looking, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. Where it all kind of takes place in this weird fluorescent world.
Well, yeah, we're not involved in that.
So this is what I'm going to say. We'll put this on the studio channel, but I'm also going to cut a short with Wyatt's prediction. And when the trailer or the film drops with that reveal, I'm going to post that short and add the extra stuff to the end, just so we can publicly show Wyatt called it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And if it doesn't happen, we'll bury it.
I just love...
Make all the videos unlisted.
I love the idea of bright and flashy and then dull, normal human colors off stage. Rom-com.
It's a fun concept.
It's my kind of humor.
It looks silly. It looks mildly fun. His belly button is stretched from those abs. Look at that belly button stretch.
Nice.
All right.
Not a hair on it.
Not a hair.
Got that Brazilian wax.
He's got that Brazilian and
just
the
on the
spray
face
and the spray tan. I like the spray tan though. You kind of need it for Ken.
Yeah, it's the cutoff jean jacket, man.
I was talking to Josh and not you.
What?
I was talking to my cousin last night.
You talked to another Josh?
Yeah. I talked to other Joshes.
Wait, what? You be cheating
3, in fact.
Cheating on me with the other Joshes?
And I was like, have you seen the new Barbie pictures with Ryan Gosling playing Ken? He's like, no, what is that? I said, it's real. Look up Ryan Gosling, Ken. And then like a second later, he goes, oh my gosh. And then he shows his girlfriend and she's like, is that Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds.
And we were like, no. Both Josh and I just yelling.
I think I mentioned it to you and you just typed in Ryan and it was the first thing that came. Or you just put like
I typed
R.
in Ryan Gosling and then the first thing that came up was Ryan Gosling Ken.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Best believe his picture is gonna be on the thumbnail of these videos. So we have one last thing to get into. Joshua, you want to intro this? This is your animation pick before we close out.
Oh, okay, we're going straight into it. Go. What did you use the picture?
No.
Okay, go to the picture you gave me then. Okay, that's the picture you gave me. That's
Mickey
not the picture I gave you. But so technically this is not Mickey Mouse. If people didn't know this,
I think it is Mickey Mouse.
It is Mickey Mouse. I'm gonna educate some people with my my pick here today. This is actually Mortimer Mouse.
Yeah, Mortimer Mouse.
It is Mickey Mouse. That is who this is.
He becomes Mickey.
Mortimer Mouse was the original name for Mickey. And this is my animation pick for this week because, we can't have an animation list without putting
out the mouse.
Yeah, without putting Disney. As much as we clown on Disney for today.
They started the animation.
No.
They started the 2D cartoon animation.
Yes, they did. They made some good strides with animation. So I'm going to give them. Okay.
I also included this because I thought it would be good to categorize your work and your words, like your pick, because this has to be a contender for the end episode when we're ranking these things. We're going to call this early Mickey Mouse or... What is it, Mortimer Mouse?
We'll just call it Mickey because it is Mickey.
Okay, we're calling it early Mickey Mouse. We're talking once they created this, they went on a crazy ride and created a handful of black and white shorts with the same style of Mickey. All right, Minnie, Donald Duck gets thrown in there a few times. Yep. They introduced Pluto, and then the rest is history. So we're talking about early animation for Mickey Mouse because it was revolutionary for the time. All right. And that's it, everybody. Don't forget, Friday night at 10 p.m., midnight special. Or you can go to Patreon and watch everything early. Like the one that's coming out on Fridays, already there. The one that's out on Friday is already on Patreon as you're watching this.
Yeah.
Because it came out this past Friday at 10. So go to the link in the description, select any of the tiers, and you can listen to that episode.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being here. What are you guys planning on doing next week while I'm gone?
Probably sleeping a lot,
You said you're off Monday.
I am
for
off.
Juneteenth.
This is like the normal. This is like number whatever of Mondays you've been off.
Yep.
And in a couple weeks, I'm gonna also have off July 4th. Do you have off July 4th?
I don't have off, but I took the day off.
Okay.
As I put in a vacation time.
They should give you that off.
July 4th.
We don't do anything.
It's the celebration of this country, this land. Boom, boom.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest,
Lowe's
when it comes
hates freedom.
Lowe's do hate freedom.
Lowe's hates freedom, brother.
When it's real estate, when it's real, what am I working?
A bank
retail.
Holiday? Retail.
That's the word I'm looking for. It's a big selling day.
Yeah.
There are so many people that come in. It's gonna be
for their
packed.
fake wood or their or their charcoal. Or they have to buy a last minute grill.
Or their chips, or their smoker stuff, or all the goodies, or even their grills.